To Capitol Hill now, where moments ago Democratic Senator Bill Nelson is addressing the media after a meeting with Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg. Let's listen in.
Did that get protected? He says it is protected, but it was in 2015.
But Senator, why Facebook never told anyone about this?
He did not. That will be a question.
Senator Nelson, did the issue of regulations come up at all in your meeting? And do you think that he takes it seriously enough? What was your feeling?
My sense is that he takes it seriously because he knows that there is going to be a hard look at regulation. If it's not his site, someone else can be misused for people who are trying to do us harm. And I believe he understands that regulation could be right around the corner.
Do you think Facebook should be regulated?
Say again?
Do you think Facebook should be regulated?
Well, if it's going to undermine ultimately our democratic institutions, we're going to have to do something to protect ourselves.
Senator Nelson, you have a Facebook page. Do you feel that your data is safe and protected?
I am very careful. My Facebook page is not a personal one. Mine is the Senate Facebook page and the campaign Facebook page, and we are very careful about what goes on there.
Senator, two questions.
I'll
First
come
and
to you.
foremost, do you get the feeling from Mr. Zuckerberg that he's taking action to protect democratic institutions ahead of the midterm elections? And a follow-up, what is the timetable for what type of regulations we could see for big tech companies this year?
I don't know the answer to your second question, but the first question is, I think he thinks he's taking action and has in the past, but I think there's going to be a lot more action he's going to have to take in the future.
Did you talk about any specific action that needs to be taken immediately with the help of Congress to implement it?
Yes, I clearly explained to him what I thought had happened in the misuse of personal data. Number one, that those 87 million, which he confirmed, that personal data was sent into hands that he said they were lied to by Cambridge Analytica. Well, you can't protect our privacy just on the basis of somebody telling you that they're going to protect it. So does that mean law? Yes. Does that mean regulation? Yes.
Senator Nelson,
Yes.
Governor Rick Scott just announced his candidacy for Senate. Some say this is going to be your greatest challenge yet. How are you feeling about the state of the race?
Well, I don't care who is an opponent. I always take them seriously, and I run like there's no tomorrow. And I think in this case, a lot of the differences between the two of us are going to come out in the course of the campaign. So that's what I'd say at this point.
Senator, back onto the topic of Facebook, the issues that you raised with privacy and regulation affect more than just Facebook. Would you like to see the executives from Google and Twitter and other tech companies come testify?
Absolutely. Because it's not just Facebook. He happens to be the point of the spear. But all these other app sites that get your personal data, that's another way of us losing our privacy. Individual privacy for Americans has been a characteristic that we highly value. And if we don't watch out, we won't have any of that privacy left anymore.
Senator, during your meeting,
let me get this lady.
What do you think about Facebook's argument that the company was simply too idealistic and that's how it missed all of this?
There's possibly some of that. When he said to me very forthrightly, we were lied to and we should have caught that. I believe that, but I think in today's world that's naive.
It's a big, sophisticated company.
I know, and I think we have just seen one of the openings in the door to taking away our privacy.
Do you feel satisfied that Americans are going to be protected in the midterm elections by Facebook with their data?
To be determined.
Senator, we're only a couple months away, though.
Sorry, Senator, during your meeting, President Trump held a cabinet meeting saying he was going to announce in the next 24 to 48 hours
his decision on what he wants to do with the Syria attack over the weekend. I just was curious.
All right, we're listening in to Democratic Senator Bill Nelson talking about the questions he posed to Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg just moments ago. CBS News Chief Congressional Correspondent Nancy Cortez is on Capitol Hill and joins us now. Nancy, what do you think Senator Nelson is implying there? It seems to me that he actually would like to see some regulation around Facebook at this time.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, he said there may need to be more regulation when it comes to the entire tech sector, at the very least social media. The problem is that he is a Democrat, and while there are a lot of other Democrats who feel the same way, there has not been a big push among Republicans to impose those kinds of regulations, and we haven't seen a big turning of the tide at this point. Another thing, though, that was very interesting, Tanya, when he came out of that hour-long meeting with Mark Zuckerberg was that he had very nice things to say about how forthcoming he felt that Zuckerberg had been. He said he felt very confident that Zuckerberg was aware of the seriousness of this problem of protecting data privacy, and that he felt that he was sincere. And that is exactly the reason that Mark Zuckerberg is holding these one-on-one meetings today. He wants to be able to get into a room with some of these key lawmakers like Bill Nelson and look them in the eye and tell them, not for all the cameras, not for a huge phalanx of senators, but just one-on-one, that he takes this seriously and that he is implementing changes. And he hopes that that will lead to a friendlier conversation tomorrow when we are watching wall-to-wall coverage of this hearing take place, when there are 44 senators, Tanya, from 2 Senate committees who are each going to get 4 minutes to question Zuckerberg. And you know that these are not going to be softballs. They're each going to be trying to make as many points as they can in the little time that they've been allotted.
So then, Nancy, is that primarily what Zuckerberg is hoping to accomplish on Capitol Hill? Is he just primarily hoping to come across as a well-meaning, idealistic entrepreneur? Things went a little wrong, but he's taking full responsibility and falling on his sword?
Sure, because if there are going to be new regulations, then Facebook wants to be in control of that process. They want to be the ones proposing them, and things can very quickly get out of hand when businesses appear to have lost control, and then the Congress works its will. In this case, he wants to say, no, we are taking care of this problem. We understand the problem. We are already doing things. That's the same reason, Tanya, that you've seen every day for the last week, practically, Facebook make another announcement about here's the action we're taking today. Here's the action we're taking today. They want to show all of these lawmakers, yes, we get it. 87 million users having their data harvested is unacceptable, and we made a big mistake here. The question I asked Nelson, however, was, did Zuckerberg have any answer in your meeting for why, if Facebook is so idealistic, really believes in transparency, why it never told anybody about this data incursion for 2.5 years until it was reported publicly? And he said no, that Zuckerberg didn't really have a good answer for that, and that he expects that that's one of the key questions that's going to come up again and again tomorrow.
And it's an excellent question. We can't wait to hear how he responds. Nancy Cortez in Washington.